Hi Rich, it's Harry here from the Wolves 77 Club podcast and the Harry Mansell Wolves YouTube channel. Big game, big preview, Ipswich v Wolves. Now from a Wolves point of view, and I'm sure from an Ipswich point of view, it's probably one of the biggest games of the season so far. I feel like we're saying that a lot lately as Wolves fans. Every game at the moment feels like mini six-pointers, even this early in the season. Similar in form, aren't we? We've both lost the last three. We're both obviously sat on 9 points. You've got the slightly better goal difference because we ship goals for fun. But big one. You'd expect at Molineux for us to be the favourites, although looking at it, I'd probably say you guys are probably playing the better out of the two teams. With how low our confidence is and how low morale is with the fan base and how unhappy we all are with the owners, the manager, I'm worried about it, I can't lie. And just before I sent this video, it's been confirmed that Gary O'Neill will be in charge. The board decided to back him for the next 2 games at least, which is just crazy. I feel like he's had more than enough opportunities and he keeps letting us down with his team selections and the results. We had a good little spell when we beat Fulham a few weeks back and beat Southampton and got a couple of draws. But it's poor to watch. We're so bad at the back. We're decent going forward, unless Cunha's not on song, which he hasn't been the last few games. And yeah, I know you've got some decent players too. Is it Delap, your striker? Looks pretty tasty from what I've seen. And I'm pretty worried about it. I can't lie. I'll try and predict a lineup for you, but which is nearly impossible to do as a Wolves fan these days, and which is probably half our problem. But there's one player that will be missing out, which is João Gomez. He's got too many bookings. So I'm going to assume we played 3 centre-halves, 5 at the back at West Ham, but he chops and changes. I think he might go for a 4 at the back against you guys. I think he'll go, saying that, he might stick with a 5 at the back just because Doherty played so well against West Ham and scored a goal. And he played Semedo right centre-back. You know what, I'll stick with the 5 at the back, the 3 centre-backs. So I think he'll have Semedo right centre-back. He'll go with Santi Bueno and Toti Gomez. Aït-Nouri left wing-back. Doherty right wing-back. No João Gomez, so I think it'll be... I'm led to believe there is another suspension, but I can't remember who it is. If they're not suspended, I think it'll be Lamina, Andre as the 2 midfielders. I think he'll start either Hwangi, Chan or Bellegarde. I'll go for Bellegarde out on the right. Strand Larsen up front with Cunha floating on the left / behind Strand Larsen. So yeah, like a 3-5-2 or a 5-2-3, whichever way you want to look at it. And I think we've got to try and be positive, obviously. I don't know how you guys are going to approach it, but obviously you're away from home. I'm sure you'd take a draw, but obviously, like I mentioned at the beginning, I think you need a win as well if you want to survive this season. So it'd be interesting, but we've got to go for it. We've got to go for the win. If you get an early goal or you defend well and we're struggling to break you down, Molineux will turn toxic, especially with the way the fans are at the moment, how unhappy we are. So yeah, huge game at Molineux. Hopefully it'll be a good atmosphere. Nice 3 o'clock kick-off on a Saturday. It feels like we don't get many of those these days with the telly things and fixtures being moved. But yeah, huge game. And I know you guys are having a good time in the Premier League. I remember you knocked us out of the League Cup last season under Gary O'Neill. A bit of a disaster at that point, I remember that. But good win for you lot. You come up, you're doing well. We've got to hope we finish above you and stay up, but the way it's looking, I don't know. And yeah, we're officially in a relegation dogfight along with you, Southampton, Leicester. You put Palace in there. I would have said West Ham, but they've probably dragged themselves out of it a bit now. And here we go, huge game. My score prediction, I'll give you one. I've got to be confident. I'll go 2-1 Wolves. Let's be realistic. My heart says 4-1 Wolves. My head says, let's be realistic, if they 2-1. We've got to win. If we don't win, my God. But I'm sure you lot fancy getting the upset and fancy spoiling the Molineux party, because Molineux party's been spoiled a lot this year. Cheers for having me on. Best of bad luck for the game, Richard. And yeah, cheers for having me on your channel.